Me, I just got a little backpack, and I also had another shoulder bag that had a camera built into it. So I had the camera built into it, and I could just press a button on the shoulder, my shoulder strap, and it would take photographs.
And I'm looking right now down here at all the photographs you took on that flight. It's pretty wild, including of their passports and everything. But there's just all these.
And there's a story how I got a picture of their passports in a minute. So, so I'm following the family. The the Colombian police officers, they're on the flight with me, and we're just like tourists on the plane. And we're watching every move that Pablo makes. And we keep on seeing this one guy come up to him and talk to him, and we weren't sure what he was. It turned out he was a reporter that somehow stumbled on the fact that that the Escobars were going to be on that plane and took advantage of it and started to talk to him and interview him. And we were trying to figure out who he was. And one of the Colombian National Police officers got into a conversation with him on the side and in the airplane and said, "What's that all about?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm an international correspondent." And so that was one strange twist to it. And then, so they got on the plane. I was picked because I was a backup supervisor. I was just one of the agents in the group, and it just said no one else can go. I forget where Steve was that day, but I think Steve might have been at the airport with me. And then I get on the plane, take off. We fly to Germany. I'm watching them. I'm taking pictures with my camera.
And what did you just have to like press something here, or like how did?
Yeah, it was literally I could have the strap like this. How some people will have a shoulder camera bag, and I'd have my hand like this, like holding the strap, and I just go like this, press like that.
So I'm looking at, again, I was looking at the pictures while you were putting that here, and I'll put them in the corner of the screen as well. But like, this is like mid-flight, and you're like turning around to like take a picture like this?
Yeah,
like, how are you getting that?
Or I could be walking down. Keep in mind that passport photos are another set of photos I took, and I'll tell you about that.
Right.
But I'm walking down the aisle, and I'm just clicking the pictures. Or I'd stand up sometimes, and I'd stretch, and I'd stand up sometimes, and I'd stretch, and I'd just press the button. And, they were regular 35 millimeter cameras. They weren't, it was film. It wasn't digital stuff.
Right.
So we're following the family to Germany. I'm watching this guy, and it's a long flight. We stopped in Caracas briefly, and the Caracas military was all lining the runway as well, because what's one of the fears? Los Pepes learns that Pablo's family's on the airplane, and they try and take the airplane out, or some guerrilla terrorist group working out of Venezuela or somewhere over in that side of South America decides to do something. Everybody was at a very heightened sense of security, because once the Escobars show up at the airport, they were followed by an entourage.
Right.
And there was press, there was everybody.
Cat's out of the bag.
It wasn't a secret anymore. Yeah. It wasn't a secret. So we fly to Germany. We land after we go Bogota to Caracas to Frankfurt. We land in Frankfurt, and the plane stops mid-runway. And German authorities get on, and I'm looking as we're taxiing down the runway after it stopped, right before it stopped. There's tanks, there's police cars on both sides. They had this unbelievable setup of security. They take the Escobars off the plane, they whisk them away, and then we pull into the gate. The DEA agents from Germany meet me and the Colombian police officials, and we wait and wait and wait. But before I got off the plane, I went and sat, because the Escobars are out of there now, right? I went and sat in their chair, and I start rifling through the pouch that's in front of the chair.
Oh, do you have that?
Yeah. There's...
This is crazy. I just remembered that.
So I go rifling through that area and see, did they leave any documents? She left her gloves. I found her gloves on the plane.
She probably had a few of those.
Yeah, she had a couple of them. And then just there was chewing gum wrappers and everything. And there were these pieces of paper. And one of them dealt with a note that he had written.
The son
had written this note.
Do you know if it's the son or the mother who wrote it?
I think it's the son because I think he probably spoke better English.
Okay. And turn that mic to you just a little bit while you read this.
I think it was the son.
Okay.
And it says basically,
those are some serious glasses, I got to tell you. I'm impressed.
oh, they're cool.
Yeah. Oh, it's magnet, too. It's amazing.
We have a friend who is in Frankfurt. He said that he will be looking for us so he can help us. His name, or his name, is Oscar Rattori. He is a journalist, but he isn't coming for interview. He's coming because he knows somebody in Colombia who is spelled H-O, can give us the help we need. He said that he will be here at 8 a.m. So if he asks for us, please let him know that we are fine and tell him that we need his help. Tell him to call Gustavo de Grief. Gustavo de Grief was the Attorney General, the head of the Fiscalia. I take that back. The chief prosecutor of the state.
I'll put this in the corner of the screen,
sure,
by the
they
way.
call that the Fiscalia. And those haven't been seen in decades. I just pulled those out in regards to doing some additional research on Pablo Escobar.
And so you just took this and got to keep it.
Well, I made copies of it, and I got to be honest with you, it's been 30 years. I don't know how that ended up in my Pablo Escobar file, because normally I would have put that in a case file. I think probably I made a Xerox of it, and there was no way to put punch holes in it and have it placed in our case file perfectly. You follow me?
Yeah.
It would have gotten lost in there, so I think I just kept it.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.